Hey there, welcome to another episode of EVE Online News and Weather. I'm Mike Azraya, and let's try to keep this one nice and short. So I want to talk about last week. I skipped it because the story I had other things to talk about, and the story was fairly fresh. But there was a big battle in Bravo Whiskey Foxtrot TAC Zulu Zulu, or BWF TAC ZZ in Geminet. Yeah, Geminet. And when I say a big battle, I'm talking about reportedly over 4,000 pilots were in the battle, and about a trillion ISK in game was destroyed worth of materials. If you talk to any other MMO, 4,000 is unbelievable for having that many people in one place fighting a battle, just churning and processing all of this. EVE Online pushes the boundaries. Unfortunately, every time they raise the level of what they can accept for how many people are in a battle, EVE players bring more. And so it seems like it's a constant battle between the devs and us to see if they can make it big enough that we can't crash it or at least force it into tie-dye. Tie-dye is Eve's answer to what happens when a battle has too many people in it, because it used to be it would just partially crash the system, or a lot of people would get blank screen, nothing showing, and others could still fly around and blow up the people who had no idea what was going on or where they were in the system. Instead, what they did was they did time dilation, where they slow down all the commands being taken so that they can process all of them before they get to the next tick and the next process and next. And it means that you wind up going, come on, shoot, shoot. And the guns are going, I'm trying. Instead of ships, we are flying Ents. But by all reports, the target that they were trying to blow up did blow up, although I haven't seen the kill mill for it yet in Zkill. But a lot of people were there, a lot of people had fun. And just because there's not a big war with fronts and all the propaganda going, doesn't mean that EVE players aren't willing to show up and shoot everything that moves when the time comes. Saw a new acronym that was, oh God, it'll be in the write up down below, but basically it's if they're alliance, shoot them, which basically was the independent people who were showing up just trying to shoot anything, but they were saying if the other group is in an alliance, then they're fair game, open fire. The other piece of news I want to get to, and I'm doing this right at the 3 minute borderline because according to YouTube analytics, a lot of you stop watching at 3 minutes. So I'm trying to get the stuff in. But if you leave right now, then you get to miss out on the good news. Three, two, one, bye bye. Okay, as of this morning, the game has 5 free days of Omega. So if you log on, go into the New Eden store and click, you can get 5 free days as a subscribed character. Now, I've seen some good ideas what to do with it and some better ideas when to do it. A lot of people are advising today's the 11th not to cash it in today. Don't buy it today. This deal is on to the 14th. The questionable part is, do they mean the beginning of the 14th or the end of the 14th, or 14th Iceland time or 14 your time? I would say 13th is safe. After that, you're rolling the dice on this. But if you wait until then to cash it in and you're an alpha, then you'll be Omega when Capsuleer Day starts. And quite often they have rewards, daily login rewards, and they have a small login reward if you're alpha and a big login reward if you're Omega. So you really want to still be Omega come those first few days of Capsuleer Days. Which leads me to the next thing. Capsuleer Day starts April 15th. And there will be giving away things like ships, skin stuff, boosters, all sorts of stuff, or at least what they have in the past. I don't see any reason for them to change that pattern. This is Capsuleer Day XXII, or for those of you from Rome, I'll have 5 more beers, please. 22. Hope you got that joke. It's called Nexus Reckoning, and it is a celebration of 22 years of EVE Online. Some of you are younger than the game is. Scary thought. The last thing I want to touch on is that the monthly economic report what came out, and I'll put a link down below. This is the people who like to see numbers, do the trades, see where things are happening and how they are happening. And so they put out the monthly economic report, which has a ton of data that you can pour through, find out where the mining is happening, where the violence is happening. Violence is happening. Leads me to movements and changes. In it is still recruiting. They went up another 200 people. Uh, no huge losses in the alliances, no big jumps. One group whose name escapes me right now. Just give me a second. Yes, I'm totally organized. Thank you for asking. The Gulick Legion is a corporation and they jumped 170 odd players, but they only had 500, so that's a big input. And I want to say again, I have nothing but admiration for these small groups when they do a big number change, because there's a lot going on. If you are a good corp or a decent corp, you have to teach them comms, who's blue to you, basic operating positions, where where we keep our stuff, whether there's any kind of buyback program or whether there's a ship appraisement program, all the little things that make the individual corps run, and the big corps as well. But the big corps actually have assigned people who are pretty much HR of a video game, but not run by the devs. Each alliance and corporation has its own human resources that try to settle when the llama dramas come in, drama llamas, and when people get out of hand, or just welcoming the new ones in and ushering the old ones out. Anyways, that's all I got for this week, and I want to let you know that I'm enjoying this. I do love comments, so please, no matter whether you're seeing this on Reddit, on in the forums, or just on YouTube itself, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a subscribe if you're on YouTube, and always feel free to ask for things for me to comment on or stuff to stop talking about. May or may not listen to you. I'm a human being and I'm allowed to have my own opinions. Maybe half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. Later, Gators.